Hello, it's Karen from Snowball to Pink here, and today I'd like to show you how to paint a little watercolour Mother's Day card, and that's using our pre-cut card. You can get these from the range. These 3.5 by 3.5, 3.5, and it comes with envelopes, and as you can see, I've painted the envelope as well and put a little label on there. But for today, I'm just going to show you how to paint this little card with the easy florals and the very loose florals and leaves. Okay, so let's get started. Here is one of the blank cards that I purchased from the range, and I'm not going to pre-draw any of this in because we want this to be really lovely and loose and very light and free. So first of all, we tap into our water and activate our watercolour paint. And I'm using Opera Rose. I think that's a really gorgeous colour. And to start with, I'm going to put in the corner, as you can see, 2 little C's. Now that will start for the middle of our rose. So with that, leaving a gap of white paper, we just press down and just move the paint around, as you can see here. Now we'll go, make sure that you leave yourself spaces and just pop in some more. This is a suggestion of petal, okay? So go as lightly as you want. And if you think, oh, I want a little bit more colour in there, while your paper is damp, just drop in and just tease the paint round. Okay, as you can see here, I'm just dropping the paint in, and we're just popping that in. Okay, so that gives a feel, as you can see, of the rose. You can see that I've left some white paper. That will give us the illusion of petal. So okay, so there's our rose, and then we activate our paint again, just using the tip of our brush, not the belly. The belly of the brush is there. We're just using the tip and at a side. So I think we could put a rose in here. So once again, a C and a C, the 2 shapes. It's almost like ling and lang, isn't it? Again, the darker colour because that's the centre of the rose. And again, we just dip our brush off and then making sure that we've got plenty of white area. And again, if you want to go in, there. And I think it'd be nice to maybe do one right up in the corner. And so we're using all our spaces up. And as you can see, not being overthinking this, I'm just dropping the paint in and wiggling my brush and making sure that we leave that white space. I think that looks okay. And if you want to do another rose in here, why not? Let's drop another rose. There's the C, and then again C. If you touch it, not to worry, don't worry about that. You can wiggle and move the paint and the brush around. Okay, just they're nice little soft actions. And again, just drop some other colour in there. As you can see, we're not overcomplicating that. We're just lovely and loose. We're not getting fussed or worried about looking at is it's got to be exact petals. We're giving the suggestion of rose petals. Right now, I think we'll do some peonies. Now, peonies, don't be put off by peonies. They can look very blousy and difficult, but be brave. So with the peony, we make a cup shape. So it's a sweeping cup shape, like that. And then we do some sweeping brush strokes to give the illusion of petals. If you want to drop some more paint in there, that's good, because it's deeper at the bottom, and just let the paint work round for you, like so. This is Perot Red that I'm using. It's quite I'd say almost like an orange colour. I think we'll do another peony here. So again, sweeping motion, and then it's the cup. And then again, just move your brush around in a lovely sweeping arc. Now these can be as big as you want. And we just get that nice peony shape, because they're lovely and light and ephemeral and just beautiful, aren't they? Right, that's lovely. We'll just leave that like that. Now we're coming to our leaves. So as we know, we always use from light to dark in watercolour. So we'll do some just simple shape leaves. Now, don't forget to tab off. Keep your paint nice creamy, but not too full. And what I mean by not too full, not too much paint on your brush. Now, do a straight line, and then you need a half moon to the top of your line, and that gives you that shape. And then what we do is we just either move up, and if you want to put a little flick on the end, you can. And again, line up, half moon, up to the top. And then if you want to go down, you can, or if you want to go up, you can. But no scrubbing, and then like that. And then just pop your leaves in where you think, this is good. I like a leaf there, and I like a leaf there. Being careful not to touch your wet paint on the roses that you've just done, because they'll bleed into it. Now, it's not the end of the world if they do bleed. It really isn't. But if you prefer to let it dry, then please do. I'm just impatient, as you know, and I can't wait. And I want to show you the next steps of what we're going to do. Now keep working your way round. As many leaves or as little as you require. It's entirely up to you. Now, if you want to go off the page, I'm just going to put that flat, because I like to go right up to the edge of the paper, because I think that gives a really nice effect. Again, we just and let your brush use all the paint up on your brush. It gives you lovely tone values, and it changes the colour, the tonal colour of the greens that you're using, which is what we're really after. You might even think, haven't got any paint on that brush. You have, it's just very, very subtle, and that's one of the beauties about watercolour, is it can be as bright or as subtle as you want. Now keep going round, putting in your leaves. As you can see, I'm not really being precious with where my leaves are going. I think it's lovely just to have this array of leaves. We're not being overly sensitive to what shape leaves. We're doing the generic leaf shape because at this stage in our watercolour journey, I think that will be much easier for those of you who are just setting out on your watercolour painting journey. And it's good to practice this as well. So we just fill in more and more. Go in different directions. And as you can see, it's starting to build up. Don't be afraid to turn your work round. That's also very easy and good to do. If you feel that you want to tape it down, you can do that as well. I just like to go right up to the edges of when I'm painting. I don't really want any borders on my cards. I think it gives it a nice effect when it's just nice and free and loose. As you can see, I'm building up. Now we're gonna just drop a little leaf in here. Again, the line, the guideline, and then right up to the corner. And there we are. We've just dropped our leaf in. Again, don't be afraid to go over what you've already done. That gives you a nice layer. And that looks super, and you'll be pleased with the effect. Again, I'm just going to pop one in here and just keep going as many leaves as you want, or as little. It's entirely up to you. Just going to move my work around now again, and have a look and just see where you'd like to drop another leaf in. You can pop a leaf wherever you think, and there are no rights or wrongs. You're the artist. You make those lovely decisions of where you're going to put your leaf or your flower. And the beauty is, it's your work. Okay, so there are leaves. Now going back, excuse me, to the peonies, I'm going to go back into my Parole Red, but I'm going to make it more watery, the paint, more dilute. Just tip it off. Now on the top here, we're just going to do light suggestions of that's the end of the petal. Leave a bit of white space in there. That's our friend. That'll help us. That'll help us. And it just closes the cup of the flower off for us. Now I'm going to go into a deeper colour. This one is olive green. The one I used before, this colour here, was forest green. So again, I'm just going to go in and just do the half moon, the guideline and the half moon, and just pop another one in and one in there. And we get that lovely layering effect. Also, we're going to pop one in there. So we've got our guideline up to there, and either stroke up or down, whatever, and a little bit on the top. Put a guideline in there, and just half moon there, and then stroke up, and there you are. We're not overworking the paper, we're not overworking the brush, we're just doing lovely, confident strokes. Again, there's your guideline, half moon, and then just stroke, and then your little tip at the end. Okay. Now, I think it'd be nice to maybe introduce a different shape. Same principle, a little bit more creamier paint right on the tip of our brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a sweep, just like that. Lovely sweeps. And one there. Okay. And maybe one there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to collect a bit more thicker paint, more the value of our colour of our paint, which is olive green, and we're just going to make, again, our guideline, but smaller. Same of what we've been doing, and then down the stem of our leaf, we're going to put little leaves, and that will just give us a lovely contrast of what we've. You can go over your peony, that's absolutely fine, or you can go behind it or on top of that leaf, or, and there we go. It's starting to bleed, but I quite like that. Again, we're getting feathering, so that's lovely. It's quite soft. So I'm just turning my paper around again, and then we've got the half moon, and then just, and let your paint almost kind of run out, because it will give you a lovely soft, a lovely soft feeling as the leaves are going down your stem. Again, on this one, if you want a little bit thicker paint, then go in, make the colour. As we said, we always put dark values on light. Again, there we go. If you don't want to put a stem on, you don't have to, but it just gives it a different feel. Now, as you can see down here, I've missed there, so we just put our little leaves in there, like so. Okay, and keep doing as many of these lovely sweeping leaves as you like. Now, as I said, don't be afraid to turn your work around. I'm going to put another sweeping leaf coming that way, because I think that will give us a nice balance, and it'll have a nice feel to it. So we're just, again, drop the paint in. Don't be precious with it. If you think, oh, that was a bit big, I don't like that very much, it's too much, that's because maybe there was a little bit too much water on your brush and not enough paint. Don't be alarmed. It gives it rustic feeling to it. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's loose and free, and that's what we want in this. Just drop another little leaf in there, and as you can see, it's building up nicely now. I'm going to put another little sweep in there and just put, if you have a bit of white left where you haven't gone, that's nice, leave that. That gives it a little bit of a halo. That's nice. That gives us a bit more depth and a bit of contrast, which is lovely. Now you can do as many leaves as you like, or you can stop right there. It is totally up to you. I'm going to turn my work completely round because I've seen something and I think I'm just going to drop a little leaf in there, and then maybe one there. like so. Okay. Now, if you're happy with that and you think, yes, that's got the exact amount of foliage and flowers and everything that I want, then stop there. If you want to go on a bit further, put a few more dark leaves in, like I am here, then you can. Just keep having a look at it and see. You can't go, nothing's wrong. It doesn't, it's entirely, if it looks right to you and you're feeling pleased with it, then that's enough. Just pop another one in there, again using our half moon and guideline, and just, you can keep building up and building up and building up. I'm just going to turn it around here and just put another little leaf in there. And I think that's fine for our foliage. So I'm just going to rinse my brush out. And now for the centres of the peonies, I'm going into Indian yellow, and just with the tip of our brush again, not forgetting to just take the excess off with it on our paper towel. I'm just going to just put some dots in to suggest some stamens in there, not being precious, just dropping them in, as you can see. Rinsing our brush off again. I'm just going to go into our Opera Rose, and I'm just going to, quite a watery consistency of paint, and I'm just going to offer a little bit more deeper colour value of paint in there, just to make it pop a little bit more. And just wiggle your brush, just wiggle your brush, but not forgetting to leave those lovely white areas. They're our friends, they help us define the leaves, petals that we've put in. Again, you can just see, just tickling very lightly with quite a strong value of paint, and it just gives us lovely contour and contrast. And always that bit in the middle is going to be darker. Just wiggle your brush. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can go back into Parole Red and just do some thicker, creamier paint, and just tickle that round there. And just go back into my Opera Rose. I'm in fear of fiddling now, so this is absolutely what I don't want you to do. So I'm going to call that done, and that is a lovely, quick floral painting, nice and loose, vibrant colours for Mother's Day. And I hope you do try this. But thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you soon. Bye-bye.